I just wanted to add to my last video an explanation on why I would spend almost $6,000 on mattresses. 2,500 for mine, which is a combination Z bed and something else, which frankly is too new, and I don't know what the technical um, information is because they had to special order it. I'll post it when I find out. The reason is because I was headed for hip surgery and hip replacement, which I can't do. I can't be operated on safely. I don't heal, and I can't take drugs. I mean, yeah, they could freeze me to do the operation, but there's no guarantee that I would survive the operation because I infect the simple, tiniest little cut. You can't see it, but oh, there's my foot. Yeah, I had a tiny, weeny little cut, and it's taken me 2 weeks to heal it, and it was starting to infect, and I have to fight to stop to stay off antibiotics because the they may attack the infection, but then what they do is they bring down my immune system, and so it's a vicious cycle, and round it goes. So it's just not something that I can safely do. And the interesting thing is, all I can say to you people is that, I gave up my home, 4-bedroom home, spent $50,000 to get human rights. All right, I failed, but I tried. And I think I am entitled to $6,000 for my bed. Um, well, for Dan, I gave him the Z bed. It's 100% organic latex. And the difference, of course, I already did a Z bed video on it. If anybody's interested, look it up. But if you're willing to spend $30,000 and up for a car, I don't see why we're not entitled to have a mattress that will save you from hip surgery. And the nerve were being so damaged in my hips that I couldn't sleep, and I couldn't sleep, and I couldn't walk, and I was in constant pain, and it was just I've already got crippling because of Parkinsonism and everything else, and nerve damage. That's all I needed. So yeah, I tested the $4,000 Z bed mattress, and it worked. It absolutely worked. I had been sleep deprived for 3 years, and literally in 24 hours I could sleep. There was no pressure on my hips, and right here in the hip, I sleep on my side, and I go from side to side. That's the way I sleep. I can't sleep on my back. If I could, I suppose I wouldn't have needed this mattress, but I can't. I'm unable to sleep at the best of times. So I was in constant pain in my hip, and then I would get up in excruciating pain in my hip, and I could, and I hide it. I go dancing. I do things, and I I don't go around with a sign on me and saying I'm in pain. I'm in pain, but I am. So the thing is that it worked, okay? And Dan has a back injury from when he worked in the mines at the smelter, and I think at 70, he's taken care of me on and off for 32 years. He was entitled to a good mattress, but I tested it first. If it would work for me, it would work for him. And then I purchased the single bed so that I could squeeze into this room. So anyway, I know people are going to say, well, what you doing? Spend all that money on the mattress and you call yourself homeless. Blah, blah, blah. Well, like, I know I'm going to get that anyway, but you don't see me saying you don't have the right to have a car and you're in subsidized housing. And I don't go around making bitchy remarks like that to people. And anyway, I'm sure people will, no matter what I say. But the bottom line is that, hip surgery costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to the taxpayers, and I just save the taxpayers that money. And it cost me $2,500, yeah. And I think I've earned that. I'm 76, and I've earned that. But I don't spend a lot of money on clothes. I make most of my own clothes, but I do spend a lot of money on supplements and vitamin supplements because I have digestive difficulties. And yeah, staying alive is hard work and it costs me money. and I have to spend the money where it's going to do the most good. And keeping me walking is, in my opinion, is where my money does the most good. And keeping me on my feet is where my money does the most good. And staying off antibiotics, because I spend $300 a month on vitamin supplements and garlic pills that pumped up my immune system so that I don't have to have infections and wind up on antibiotics like I did for over 40 years. And if it hadn't been for AIDS, I would have died anyway, because I was running out of antibiotics. I had become so immune to them. I'd been on them 4 or 5 times a year that if it hadn't been for AIDS, I would have died. And I decided, well, I'm going to try and find a better way. And so, yes, I'm not saying if you're on welfare, no, I'm sorry, you don't have the money. Some of you on disability can get the vitamin supplements. I know some people who've managed to get decent doctors in Ontario and Canada, various parts of Canada, who've been humanitarian enough to fight for you, and you can get them, but I was never that lucky. I always had to pay for everything. So anyway, that's just to explain. I do talk about in one of my videos the cost of my new bed. And I know some people will think, how dare you call yourself homeless because you just spent $6,000 on beds. But I just gave away $100,000 worth of furniture to the refugees, so go screw. To those of you who want to put me down, go ahead and do it. But I don't deserve that kind of criticism. And I think it's important that people realize that there are our backs and our bodies. We're in bed. Well, I'm in bed 70% of my life. And the average person, at least 50% of your time is in bed. So your body deserves to have the new technology. Now, I know it's only been around a couple of years or a few years. I think the ZedBed's several years, but this new one, I don't know what the hell it is I've got, but it works. There's absolutely no pressure on my hips, and it's not. And so now the nerve damage in my hips is starting to self-repair. And I'm not going to need a hip replacement. So that's why I'm spending the money. So just to let you know, when I spend money, it's for a good reason. And you should maybe reconsider how you spend your money too. It's not always a good idea to buy a $100 bed when you're going to wind up in a wheelchair. Okay, I just wanted to let you know, because I'm just so tired of people piling crap on my head. And to those of you who do care and who sent me your prayers and your love and your hugs and your comments and support, Helen, thank you. And all my lovely guys out there on Skyrock, thank you. And all you lovely people on Facebook, thank you. I appreciate whatever help I can get. Thank you.